I'm really happy with how the coaster is looking so far. It takes up the largest footprint of anything I've ever built, so that's cool. A big priority with this lift hill right here was that it didn't interrupt the pacing of the ride. I really wanted the train to be able to make it up the lift hill in less than 5 seconds. Luckily, the shallow angle of the lift hill allows the chain to move pretty easily, and also it's not that tall since it actually starts kind of elevated. So in the end, it wasn't that much for the motor to pull, the screwdriver, and I do replace the batteries in it somewhat often just so it doesn't get too slow. This frame of the vertical loop right here, that's not the structure for it, it was just kind of a visual for myself so I could get an idea of where the loop would be before I actually locked down any track that led up to it. You might see some gaps in the structure as of now. That's because I'm running low on these pieces and I had to order more. What I did was I just kept building with the pieces that I did have and left the spaces so that way I could fill them in once the pieces eventually show up. I should be able to keep the rest of the layout entirely accurate to California Screamin. It looks like I have the momentum to do it, so I won't have to cut corners, hopefully. The good news is I know that I'm not going to run out of space. Sometimes when I'm building a coaster, I have the complication of, is this turn going to run into the wall? But I did a lot of planning beforehand. I kind of had to play Tetris with the furniture to move it about the room in a way that it would grant me the space I needed to achieve the final layout. One final bit of big news, I figured out how to use the tiny camera, so I will conclude this update with an on-ride video of the coaster. See ya! This is me from the future. Now looking back at the point of view footage, there's a couple of things I do want to change. Like I want to figure out how to get rid of those numbers in the bottom. The camera still thinks it's 2012. Otherwise, I just want to pay closer attention to the lighting and try to make the video a bit less shaky. I should have all those figured out by the time I'm done with the coaster.